This is a Quadratic Academy, and my name is Mike. In this video, I'm going to teach you how you can be able to prove the quadratic equation, or rather a quadratic formula. Okay, so what I want you to understand first of all is that each one of you have the basic understanding of what a quadratic equation is. And I also want to bring to your attention that a quadratic formula has the general formula before we get to the actual formula that you normally see in the exam papers or even in the past papers. Okay, so if you're new to my channel, please support us by subscribing to our channel, the Deriving Academy, on our YouTube platform, and share, like, and also just share our videos. And you may have your friend, you may also have your family that may be interested in our content. So please subscribe to our channel, and we'll be so much grateful, and we'll actually appreciate that. Thank you so much for tuning in to Quadratic Academy. Love you so much. Okay, so now let's get into the main idea of what a quadratic equation is, or how you can be able to prove a quadratic formula. Okay, so we understand that it has the general formula of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Okay, so now that is basically the general formula of a quadratic equation. Okay, so now we want to come up with a formula that is known as, or at least the formula that comes to as this. Okay, so it's x equals to b, okay, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Okay, so we want to actually prove this formula. We want to actually understand how can you come up with the formula. What is the best way? Of course, some of the questions may not ask you exactly to actually derive this formula, or rather just to come up with this formula. But I want you to understand that in mathematics, you must be able to have the powerful tool of proving things at least at some point. So in this video, you are going to see exactly how you can come up with this formula, or how you can just arrive at this formula. So make sure that you continue watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so now we move on. Okay, so now the first thing that you do is to ensure that you use what is known as the completing square method. Okay, so once you use the completing square method, then you're going to get everything correct. Okay, everything is going to actually be correct. Okay, so I hope and believe that you understand what a completing square method is all about, or at least you have some fundamentals. But if you don't have any knowledge about what a completing square is all about, you can check out on one of my videos which I posted recently, or actually I think some time back. You can find that video exactly about completing a square. So the first thing that you do is you divide everything by this a. Okay, so that's a procedure for using the completing square method. So you have to divide everything by a. Okay, so once you divide everything by a, then let's see how it goes. Okay, so we are going to have this goes. So x squared plus b over a x plus c over a equals to 0. Okay, so if the 0 is on top and everything you have, whatever you have as an integer, as a denominator, okay, that also will give you a 0. Okay, so now here we go. So now the second step now is to ensure that this, okay, this part, okay, you find the half of that part. Okay, so you find half of that, and then you square it. Now after you square that half, and then you add that half to both sides of the equation, or at least that term, you add it to both sides of the equation, and then you can see how you can go. Okay, so now, after we do that now, so I'm going to find half of this, okay? So I'm going to ignore the x, okay? So half of this, okay, so at least half, so I'm going to divide by 2, okay? So half, okay. So this is obviously going to be b over a, okay? Then multiply by, because I'm going to actually flip this one, okay? So it's going to be like this. And then this is going to be b over 2a. And then now I square this part, okay? I square this part and then I add it to both sides of the equation, okay? So both sides of the equation, and then let us see how we go from there, okay? Okay, so what's going to happen is x to the power 2 plus half of this, which is just b over 2a, and then you square this, okay? And then I'm going to actually get this c over a to the other side of the equation, and then this is just going to be, okay, so b over 2a minus c over a, okay? Okay, so half of this one, you add it to both sides of the equation. So this and that is added to both sides of the equation. So what's going to happen now? So now at this point now, we are going to apply what is known as factorization, okay? So factorization is something that you already know, guys. It started from our grade 8 and, you know, until you finish your grade 12. So in this video, at this stage, we are going to factorize, you know, what is on the left-hand side. And then we are going actually to simplify this part, okay? So from there now, we say, now because the powers are equal, okay? Because the powers are the same, or rather they are raised to the power 2, this is going to be, open bracket, x plus b over 2a, and then you square now, okay? So from there now, this is going to be b squared, okay? It's just going to be b squared, okay? And then 2a squared, so 2 squared, that is 4a squared, that is a squared minus c over a. Okay. So now, at this moment, you are almost getting there, guys. So just make sure that you don't mess up, okay? So just something that is very easy and simple once you focus and pay extra attention to whatever you're doing, okay? So make sure that you pay so much attention to what is happening, okay? So now the best way you can work out this one is now you apply the square root, okay? You apply the square root, okay? And once you do that, whatever you do here, you also do onto the other side, okay? Okay, so let me just rewrite this one, that. Now, so if you do remember now your fractions are simple mathematics, okay? What's going to happen now is that we have to work out some of, you know, we have to work out the fraction, finding the lowest common denominator, okay? So in this case, we are going to say 4a squared is common, okay? And then we do that, okay? So this 4a squared, okay? 4a squared into that, we just get 1. Then 1 multiplied by b squared is going to actually give us b squared. Then minus, okay? So a into 4a squared, so we just remain with 4a. Now that 4a multiplied by C. Okay, so we are going to have 4AC. Okay, and then now you bring down this part. Okay, so x plus b over 2a. Then you close the bracket, and then you square. You close the bracket, you square, and then we are almost getting there. Okay, so what's going to happen now, guys? Okay, so what's going to happen now is that, let me just undo this part. Okay, I'm going to apply, okay, I'm going to say x plus this, okay, 2a, then b squared, okay, over 4a squared. Okay, so at this point now, I can apply the square root. Okay, I can apply the square root. Now, the moment I apply the square root, okay, then I'm going to actually introduce the signs, the plus or minus. Okay, so this is going to be plus or minus. So this, the square root and this square cancels. Then this is going to give me x plus b over 2a, okay, equals to plus or minus the square root, okay, b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. Okay. So now at this point now, I'm going to actually take this b over 2a to the other side of the equation. So this simply becomes, we are solving for the value of x, okay, by deriving the quadratic formula, okay. So I'm going to actually take this b over 2a to the other side of the equation, okay, so that I remain with that. Okay, so x equals to, this is positive, okay, so it's going to actually become negative, okay, so negative b, okay, over 2a, plus or minus, okay, plus or minus, okay, the square root, okay, let me do this, okay. Okay, so now before we shift that, okay, this square root, okay, this square root, okay, this square root is like this. So the square root is applying even for the 4a squared, okay. So what's going to happen now is a plus or minus, okay, plus or minus, and then we have now the square root over b squared minus 4ac, okay. Now the square root of 4, okay, the square root of 4 is just 2, and then this a squared cancels with the square root, then that becomes a, and then now I still have that, okay. Hope you're following. Now from that point onward, okay, so what's going to happen now is that we are going actually to say, so at this point I'm going to use this part, okay. Okay, so x, so we are going to get now, I'm going to shift this one, goes to the other side. So this is going to be x, okay, equals to plus or minus the square root of b squared, okay, minus 4ac divided by 2a, and then when this one goes to the other side becomes minus b over 2a. Okay, so now once you do that, now you can check out, you can see now at the bottom now that the denominator 2a and 2a in the square root part, they're just the same. Okay, so what you do is you kind of just get the things that at the bottom, at the top, the numerators, okay, you kind of put them together, and then you just pick one common denominator. Since the denominators are the same at the bottom, then we just kind of pick if you're subtracting or adding what is on top, then we can actually get that. Okay, so the fact that this 2a, okay, this 2a and 2a, they are the same. Okay, so what this entails is that we are going to say now x equals, okay, so x equals now a plus or minus, then this b squared, okay, minus 4ac, okay, minus b, okay, over, okay, 2a. So what that means actually is that I can just now flip this one. I start with that one, okay? So I'm now going to say, okay, x equals to negative b, okay, plus or minus, then the square root of b squared minus 4ac, okay, over, okay, 2a. Okay, so that basically proves the quadratic equation that we normally use to find now for the actual value of x. Okay, so now you can see that at the end now, what normally happens is that the 2 is the common denominator, okay, is the lowest common denominator, and that's 2a is the same on both terms, okay. The 2a is the same on both terms, so we kind of just put this one as a single term, and then because this divides that, this divides this, okay. Now, therefore, we're going to say hence shown, okay. So let's just say, so let us just say the question was talking about, can you actually derive the quadratic formula? Okay, and we have just done that. Okay, so if you're happy with this video, please make sure you subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. So thank you so much. Make sure you take a step further. I mean, you can go back, okay, if you didn't understand the concept and everything that happens, okay. So otherwise, this is a Radical Academy, and thanks so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I love you guys, and it's bye bye. I'll see you in the next video.